Jeff, are you nervous? Wait, on a scale of Buddha to crapping your pants, where are you?
I feel like my sphincter's a little tight to be, crapping my pants, but, definitely not Buddha, but, I would say, yeah, I'm terrified probably.
Terrified?
Yeah.
You're terrified?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Did you ever in your life ever think that you were going to be doing stand-up comedy?
I'd like to tell you that everything up to now has been prologue, but, no, I didn't.
No.
I've been trying to be funny for a long time.
How's that been going?
Well, I don't know. How's it going now?
I don't know. Who are your favorite stand-ups?
Obviously Carrot Top, but
You might do better than that. I don't know.
yeah, maybe,
We'll see.
maybe. I love Aziz Ansari. Is probably my favorite comic. Are we allowed to like Bill Cosby anymore?
No.
Okay.
He's not.
So, Well, then obviously no, not Bill Cosby.
Okay.
But growing up, I really loved Eddie Murphy, but mostly because my parents wouldn't let me watch it. In fact, I toyed with the idea of wearing a purple leather suit tonight, like he did in Delirious.
That would look really good on you.
Oh, I think I could have pulled it off, but
Do you have one backstage? Right?
It's so sweaty.
I know.
Leather pants.
I like it. Do you think other people think you're funny?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know. Am I answering seriously right now?
Well, we have a bunch of your coworkers
'Cause
and friends. Do you guys actually?
Yes.
I feel like Shelley from Human Resources just said straight out no.
No, not funny.
No.
Yeah, well.
No. All right, so we went out to a show together. We watched stand-up comics.
We did.
We talked shop.
We did, yeah.
We rehearsed.
We did.
You came over to my living room. You
We
did
did.
it. I hope you're not doing some of those jokes.
No, I did all new stuff.
All new stuff.
Yeah,
Good.
totally
Perfect.
new stuff.
Was there
Like
ever?
it's awesome, except say something funny.
Exactly.
Remember that was a good note.
That was a good note. I
Yeah.
was like, now do it
Yeah.
again, but good.
Right, exactly.
Is there anything throughout this process that you've been surprised about that was more difficult than you expected?
Yeah, well, the idea of that you kept pressuring me to write down what I was actually going to say, which I never do that. So I don't know from moment to moment what I'm going to say. And in this case, actually writing it down and figuring out that, one word might be funnier than another, or that none of them are funny when you group them together and starting over again.
Or finding a punchline? Was that?
Yes,
It was different,
yeah,
right? When you
yeah,
just sit down to
exactly,
do it. Did you
exactly.
find any?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Jury's out.
I hope so. Yeah.
So you've seen our other comics.
Mhm.
How do you think you're gonna hold up to that?
Well, it's strange because usually the Frosh-Soft JV team goes first and then varsity goes last, and tonight we've flipped it, and I feel like it's great that so many people would stay to watch the JV play, because that's what I definitely feel like I am, compared to these guys.
What do you guys think? How do you think he's gonna compare? Good?
It's like, is there an applause sign behind me?
There's an applause sign
Yeah,
behind
there
you.
is,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
lighting up.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna find out. Break a leg.
Okay, thanks.
Do it. All right. Let's give it a cut.
My name is Jeff Morrow, and I'm the Director of College Counseling at a suburban high school in Los Angeles.
Jeff and I have been married for almost 20 years. The first thing that I liked about Jeff was that he was really funny.
I think she still finds me funny now.
Jeff is still funny.
I'm trying not to do the same material that I was, in 1993.
Our kids think that Jeff is pretty funny.
This morning, they both threatened to run away. So, yeah, I think they think I'm hilarious.
I think my dad is funny.
Funny looking.
Sometimes my dad says pretty bad jokes.
I think my dad's funnier than my mom.
In my house right now, I am known as
I'm the fun killer.
Fun Killer.
Did I lose my real virginity to my wife? I don't know. I thought this would be private.
Jeff lost his real virginity to me.
I lose my comedy virginity to my wife? No, I was funny long before I met her.
Ew, what stinks?
Daddy's jokes.
I am actually really nervous about Jeff doing stand-up.
I think mostly it's that she cares about me and doesn't want to see me make a mistake. Also, maybe she's worried that I might say something about her or about my mother-in-law or maybe about my mom. Who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen.
Jeff, I'm really excited for you. I think that you're totally gonna rock this tonight. I think that it's important to do the things you think you cannot do, and to do things that are hard. And I'm just excited for you to stepping up and for going the extra mile on this. Have a great time. I love you.
Break your legs, Dad.
Daddy, try not to bomb.
I'm happy to be here while your second virginity is lost.
Are we ready for our Virgin of the Night? All right, here's what we've all been waiting for, a very warm welcome for Jeff Morrow.
I'm gonna take this mic and I'm gonna move it because that's what comedians do, obviously. Signifying that the magic has begun. So, when Nicole first approached me and said, hey, I want you to get up and do stand-up comedy. I want you to be a comedy virgin. Now, I should preface this by saying if I had a nickel for every time someone asked me to be their virgin, I would have 5 cents. But Nicole says, hey, I want you to be my comedy virgin. And my mouth says, yeah, that sounds cool. But my sphincter said, no. So I started thinking of all the things I'd rather do than get up and do stand-up comedy in front of a live audience. You could hire a stranger to just come up to you without knowing, just to punch you in the junk. You could get a twice weekly colonoscopy, right? You could do that thing, when you're a kid and you're riding your bike and you're riding as hard as you can. You ride off a curb and you slip off your seat and you right onto the middle bar. You could do that. That'd be good too. But I'm not gonna do these things. I'm doing this. So anything that I say tonight that you find even mildly amusing, keep in mind that the things I say are to mask deep emotional pain that I feel. So with that, here we go. Now, I grew up in Portland, Oregon. Anyone else from Portland? Okay, great. Excellent. Let's go, Portlandia. Keep Portland weird. So I grew up in Portland, Oregon. It's actually more accurate to say I grew up in Beaverton, Oregon, right? Went to Beaverton High School, home of the Beavers, okay? My dad went to Oregon State University, also incidentally, home of the Beavers, okay? So everyone in Oregon is either an Oregon fan, an Oregon State fan. Now this week, obviously there's more Oregon fans than Oregon State fans, but my dad hates the Ducks because he's a Beaver, right? Okay, so his dream is that someone in his family, namely my children, his grandchildren, would love Oregon State with the same passion that he does. He wants them to have the same kind of Beaver love that he does. Okay, so to that end, he buys them all kinds of Beaver paraphernalia, Beaver contraband, Beaver accessories, and my kids are all in. They are drunk on the Beaver Kool-Aid. They're drunk on the Beaver Kool-Aid. T-shirts, sweatshirts, Matchbox cars, you name it, and of course, stuffed animals. Okay, so this past summer, our family was in Yellowstone, right? And we're at the gift shop for Old Faithful. We give our kids a couple of dollars, say go in, buy yourself a souvenir, and what do they come out with? Yeah, stuffed beavers, right. Okay, now that allows for this honest-to-God conversation to happen in the back of our car as we drive out of Yellowstone. So, girl child turns to boy child and says, hey, have you ever pet a real beaver? Boy child says, nope, you? Girl child says, well, just my own. Boy child says, well, duh, I mean, it's right in your lap. Of course you'd pet your own. But, and then he offers this advice, but you should never pet wild beavers. Girl child says, well, of course, that's good advice. I mean, wild beavers are the worst. And then we hear a pause, and she says, hey, I just realized my beaver's actually a puppet. Boy child says, huh, well, how do you control it? Can you put your whole hand in it? And the girl child says, no, it's not big enough. But with just 2 fingers, I can make the arms and legs move all over the place. So at this point, my wife and I are in the front seat doing the shoulder shake, you know, like junior high kids. And then we hear a pause again, and the girl child says, oh, darn it, now my beaver's all wet. Oh, wait, no, oh, come on. She spilled her juice box, you guys, come on. Ah, oh, sickos, keep it together, you are better than that. Come on. So, I grew up in Portland, Oregon. Now I live in Westlake Village. Westlake Village, California is much like any other uber affluent suburban town, with one exception. I don't know if you knew this. Westlake is actually home to the largest natural cougar habitat in North America. I don't know if you knew that. I don't understand why people spend thousands of dollars every year to go on these elaborate African safaris, right? Where you ride in a Jeep, you never get within 300 yards of the cheetahs or the lions or the zebras or the elephants. You're just right there in your cozy little Jeep. In Westlake Village, for $10, you can go to a bar called Bogey's and you can watch the cougars run all night. There is nothing more exhilarating than a 55-year-old woman dressed like an extra in a Miley Cyrus video, right? I mean, we're talking free-range cougars galloping across the dance floor, puffy lips, stretched faces, bedazzled jeans, crop top, tramp stamp, all in pursuit of their prey. A 25-year-old jabroni at the bar. Tank top, barbed wire tattoo, same bedazzled jeans probably. It is majestic and I recommend it. Okay, cougars. I don't know if you knew this as well, but as a counselor, I get a chance to travel. And I've traveled all over the country. I've been to all kinds of small towns all over this country. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Oxford, Mississippi, Athens, Georgia, Lawrence, Kansas. And I've come to this conclusion. The nicest people in this country are elsewhere. But the best looking people are right here, okay? The top, well, I mean, not in this room, but the top 1% of the best people in the country are right here in LA, right? The rest of the country is filled with towns with people that I would characterize as, let's just call them hardworking sixes, right? Let's hear it. We got any hardworking sixes here? I would say I'm a hardworking six, right? They're out there, nobody's phoning it in, everyone's trying to really make it happen. They're trying, but still, hardworking sixes. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely nothing wrong with that, but it makes you question your choices. You think, what in the world am I doing in LA? Maybe I could be somewhere else. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I could be in Topeka. Maybe in Topeka, I don't have to be the pretty girl's funny friend, right? Maybe I'm the pretty girl in Topeka. Maybe I'm the pretty girl in Topeka, I don't know. But it makes you question your choices, right? And over time, you get used to your surroundings, and you start to settle, and you lose your context. Because I've been in a bar in Milwaukee when the prettiest girl in that bar couldn't even play that funky clarinet instrument in the cantina scene in Star Wars. You know what I'm talking about? This is not even someone who's an extra in Jabba's palace. She can't hold that chain that's keeping Princess Leia, right? Okay. Here's the bottom line. I'm Milwaukee hot, right? I am underwear model hot in Milwaukee. There is a model for short dudes with body hair there like you wouldn't believe. I recommend it. You should go to Milwaukee. Put it another way. So anyway, you have that thing where people come up to you and they say, hey, you know who you look like? You know what I'm talking about? Brad Pitt, right? Okay. People come up and they tell you that you look like somebody. This happens to me all the time. But here's the problem. The people that they tell me that they look like don't look like each other. So I don't get that at all. So the only thing that I can think of is that it has to do with LA versus Milwaukee. So, and side note, by the way, how come no one ever volunteers that people come up and tell them they look like Steve Buscemi, right? Or John C. Reilly, or Patton Oswalt? No one ever says that. It's always someone glamorous, good-looking, a celebrity, right? Well, this happens to me all the time too, but here's how it works. In Milwaukee, people come up to me and say, hey, you know who you look like? Mark Wahlberg. I'm like, whoa, Marky Mark. That's a good vibration, yeah. Absolutely, I'll take it. The difference is in LA, the same person comes up to me and says, you know who you look like? Jack Black. See? Milwaukee hot. That's Milwaukee hot. Okay. So I think it was Inigo Montoya in The Princess Bride. Anyone seen The Princess Bride, right? Who said originally, that word, I do not think it means what you think that it means. I get to play this all the time in my job because as a counselor, I've literally read thousands of college essays. And my favorite mistake that students make is the use of a malapropism. Anyone know what that is? I know there's some English teachers in the room, so I know you know what that is. Malapropism, two words that sound similar that mean something totally different. Let me give you an example. You are not a member of Alcoholics Unanimous. Got it? You are not a veritable suppository of information. See what I mean? Malapropism. Okay. So sometimes these essays are inspiring, other times like drowning in cat pee, but there is something inherently entertaining about a high school student swinging for the literary fences only to achieve relative sameness. You know, I apologize. That sounded so harsh and so jaded, and my boss is here, and let me take another run at that and just, you know what? No, that's exactly what I meant. That's accurate. That's accurate. These kids are so used to being validated for every thought that pops into their head. It's no different than when you were a kid and your parents treated you like you had Nobel potential because you made a really healthy number 2, right? It's the same thing. So the other day, I had the nerve to correct one of my students and let them know that anecdote and antidote are not the same word. And that if you ever got bit by a snake, what you're looking for is not some pithy story about when you went to summer camp, right? Okay, you're looking for an antidote. His response to me, agree to disagree, Mr. Morrow. Apparently there's no anecdote for stupid, right? Okay. So quick note while we're at it. Atheistic and aesthetic are not the same thing. And my guess is your goal is not to end all women's suffrage, right? But my favorite one happened about 4 years ago. One of my favorite students, such a sweet girl. And she's writing this essay, and she's really trying to grasp onto the things that make her unique, the things that set her apart. And she's trying to show growth, all the things we tell them that they should do, right? And so she's listing her best quality. And so she starts to talk about the thing she's most proud of after 4 years is that she's developed a wonderful self-defecating sense of humor. What? That's right. A self-defecating sense of humor. Now, hold on. In her defense, I have tried self-defecating humor. It's hard to pull off, and it is rarely funny. Think of it as a comedy last resort, right? You're up here on stage, you've realized that your comedic parachute is actually a knapsack. You are free falling through the air, and so you resort to self-defecating humor. You're like, whoa, no, don't wait. I'm gonna poop my pants. Oh, I hope you had a good time tonight. Hold on one second. I gotta tell you one more thing. We here at Comedy Virgins are a lot like the Oprah show. I don't know if you knew that. In fact, I have been called the Oprah of white, middle-class, male comedy virgins. It's true. It's true. And like Oprah, we like to give gifts, okay? And so tonight, in addition to the tremendous joy that all of you received, every single one of you is going home with a stuffed beaver. Thank you. That's all I have. Good night.
Take a bow. Oh my God, he's amazing. He's amazing. Look at that. You got two people to stand. How do you feel?
Great, yeah. Tired.
He killed it, right? He killed it. You're amazing. One of the best virgins. You can leave now. Okay. We're good. Right? That was amazing. I can't believe it. That was.